이 이고는 이사님께 부여받았을 뿐이요. 내게 선택권이 있지도 않았지. 나라고 하여 동료를 관통해 쏘는 일을 좋아서 받아들였을 거라 보는가. 그리 보였다고. 그렇다면 그건 침식일 거야.
Interesting. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamac. This is Limbus Company. I have done most of the hard work for the Mirror of Immortality Sunk Gloom Infinite. We're at floor 10. We're in Sunk Gloom. I've done most of the hard work off screen, so maybe this is considered not that good, but let's just show what the end of this run looks like. So, I have been trying to get the Kanto packs in one run, which is why I do not have the I didn't get around to upgrading the charge gifts even though I have them. I have picked up quite a lot of interesting things along the way though. Most of what I'm going through relies on Don Quixote to get the opening round. Unfortunately, floor 10, enemy offense levels have just gotten to the point that I can't reliably beat them with everyone's ego, which is not ideal. And I didn't get my hands on the level up gift, so that didn't help out. Can I get a poise gift, please? Nebulizer. Thank you. Where is it? I must have already maxed it out. I know I have the tier 4 poise gift at here. Yeah, I maxed it out, so we will get that 15 offense level and we're going to need it. Funnily enough, the uncapped defibrillator here actually kind of sabotages Don Quixote because she keeps pushing herself above 0 even when she's in 3 magical arcana. It's kind of funny. Okay, we can use it to max out this White Gossapium so it doesn't sabotage us. I actually do have the ability to give myself, Wait, not the slash gift. The tremor gift? No, we already have tremor. Bingo! This could give us a nice finish. The downside is that it means that we lost our blunt gift, and that's actually extremely critical, so let's see if we can force that back into the group again. Okay, we have a crushed memory back, cool. Oh. I really wanted to get extra skill slots for specific characters, but they just never show up. I wanted to... So, actually, let's see if I can show it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, I've got 2 copies of Concentration. I'd have actually liked another copy of Mind Whip so that I can burn through his charge faster. He does have a charge ego, but it doesn't consume charge, it just provides it, so that's slightly inconvenient. But let's see how well we can do with this. It's big old headless Ickius. Yeah, they have quite the obnoxious level of clashing now. Like, this isn't even blood cannon. I think that's honestly the safest skill that she has here. She's probably going to lose the clash and then gain the hit damage down, but we can't afford to use an ego is the problem. And there's only so many people that actually can forced win a clash here with anything. No, she can't because she has bad offense level. Very inconvenient. We're actually getting neutrals here because level 89, 124 offense level. We just can't keep up.
집속불 뇌파 충전.
총원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
But it is dealing a frick ton of damage.
총원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
And the thing is, I don't have faith either, so any SP I lose is SP that sticks.
제가 어떻게 보일까요?
It is exceptionally inconvenient.
그 답이 있을까요?
항상 지켜보고 있었지. 눈을 떼지 마라. 한순간이라도 놓친다면 영원히 방황할 테니.
We actually ate through most of his health, but right at the start. Go figure.
다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나. 끝까지 찢어주마.
And now he's gone back up again because of Red Gossypium.
있었던 겐가?
But offense level negative 105 for this turn. Obviously it's not going to, that's in total, but it's still helping us out a lot. It's a shame that he's so weak, otherwise I could try to finagle for the Arcana Slave for maximum damage, but that achievement hasn't even been added yet.
공격 범위 확인.
승리의 보람과 세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는
I should point out that there was a time where I misjudged her SP, and so Don Quixote corroded and killed everyone in the party during a fight against Wayward Passenger. It took a bit of hard work to come back from that mistake. Many ego gift. So yeah, unfortunately I spent more Starlight than I earned, so I don't want to go for Mirror Dungeon Infinity that many times, but anyway, so yeah, I used ++ for Starlight Guidance, and ++ for Favor of the Nebulae, and it still wasn't enough. By the end, even Ego was struggling to clash. This setting is no joke. Okay. I still need to do the time-killing time Bokgak pack, but I kinda don't want to, if I'm honest. Anyway, I do have one other thing to show off, and that is the extraction for the stuff now that it's available. So, Crushbound Past. We know what this is, it's Mersault's new VoV Ego.
증기압축 피스톤 압력 제한 해제, 관측 완료된 시간부터 계산 완료, 축적된 과거 변형, 모먼트 값 유지, 발사.
I'm sure that'll be fun, but more importantly, we can wrap up with T-Core Utus.
변로는 31초. 기준은 T4중앙 시계탑을 기준. 그 이상은 허락하지 않겠다.
Seems a bit unfair when they might be working on a 4-hour time shift. Anyway, I need to make sure that I use this because I've been meaning to use my VoV's thread spinning ego ticket and I just haven't been. This is the... I need to do this before I forget about it. So we've upgraded everything about it and given it the passive. I'll probably save this one for Honglu, because they are releasing the new Honglu soon. And he does seem very tempting for extractions, if not for the fact that the crossover is coming up, but we still have this on extraction, so I could look at the numbers. 3 plus 3, 4 plus 3, 4 plus 4. Hang on. Corrosion is 28 minus 12, 28 minus 12, 30 minus 12, 30 minus 10. Alright, so nice numbers, but anyway, let's look at the sinners. So then, she has a 2+3 for... You know what? Testing. Oh, wait, no, not testing. I never did get around to using you, did I? Alright, so let's go into our usual testing ground and hope that the tutorial doesn't interrupt us.
보는 눈은 있네요. 여기서 저만큼 유능한 인재는 흔치 않죠.
It probably doesn't matter, but I'll set it in the background anyway.
준비한 대로만.
So she has a 3+2 for her skill 1, or a 4 to 16 for her skill 2. Honestly, kind of intimidating even by these guys' standards.
정당한 공무집행.
Wait, she rapid talks if you examine her during battle. That's kind of funny. Gain 1 trauma count, inflict 2 trauma count. So that's actually kind of bad. It means that she can only maintain stability. She can't actually make it past anything. Gain 2 trauma count, inflict 2 trauma count, inflict 2 trauma count. If target has 3 trauma count, trigger a trauma burst, then reduce the target's trauma count by 1. If not on borrowed time, gain borrowed time at turn end. On Clash Win, apply trauma count to both target's self, or Clash Lose, apply full trauma count to herself.
정당한 공무집행.
TikTok?
벌써 버벅이나? 완전히 멈췄네.
최근엔 좋았어.
전부 징수했으니 상관없지.
Gain attack weight if the target has lots of negative status effects. Unfortunately, we've got no chance of putting that out now.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠. 불끈을 지워냈군.
They are certainly fancy hits though, aren't they? Gain 2 haste to Clash power up, and what's its... Kicks and stomps. Why not?
시간 끌 것 없이
Anyway, if we uptie, what do we get for her? We probably just get the passive for her if we're being bluntly honest.
전부 징수했으니 상관없지. 승자는 시간을 관리하며 살고 패자는 시간을
Hey, they gained 2 levels from doing that. What fun.
출근길 조간 신문에 있던 문구다.
So, anyhow,
참고 시적절한
get her to uptie 1, it raises her speed from 2 to 5 to 3 to 6. Gain 2 tremor counts so she finally starts making momentum with her skill 1. If target has 6 plus tremor, coin power plus 1. So it currently rolls 8. Yikes. Still plus 1 tremor count there. If target has 6 plus tremor, coin power plus 1. Gain 3 tremor count. Inflict 2 tremor, inflict 2 tremor. If target has 10 plus tremor, consume 4 tremor on target to apply 2 tremor count to both target and self. Okay, that's kinda handy. But 10 plus tremor is quite the number to reach. If target isn't in amplitude conversion or entanglement, consume 3 tremor count on self to trigger amplitude conversion into tremor chain. Okay, so it's not going to overwrite the more useful stuff, but it is going to give us a nice clash power advantage. That would have been nice earlier. If target has 3 plus tremor count, trigger the tremor burst once. Then reduce target's tremor count by 1. Turn end. If this unit's HP is between 10% to 20%, instantly heal 80% of HP, recover from stagger. If the unit has borrowed time, its skills gain final power. Is this separate from the golden time boost or not? I can't tell. Now then, if we uptie her again, we go from 3 to 6 to 4 to 7. It's still not quite enough to make her faster than Mola Utus. I guess that's what borrowed time is for, but I use Mola Utus specifically for her 5 to 8 range when facing off against the Fairy Gentleman. Anyway, gain her skill 3, T3 Collector Mace Max Activation. Deal bonus damage during Time Moratorium. If target has 6 plus tremor, coin power. After attack, lose borrowed time on self. Does this mean that she actually skips the penalty for using borrowed time? After attack, gain Violent Collections. If this unit has haste, gain extra tremor count from its base skills. If this unit's speed is faster than the target, deal extra damage. Inflict 2 tremor count. Consume up to 3 tremor. Gain tremor consumed tremor count. Inflict tremor consumed bind. So that's 2 bind that she could inflict. It's not the magical number of 3 yet. If target has 3 plus tremor count, trigger a tremor burst. Reduce target's tremor count by 1. Consume all tremor count on self. Coin power plus 1 for every 5 tremor count consumed to a maximum of 5. So this is going to make number calculations quite tricky. 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. So that's 12 to 17. But this one can gain an extra 5. So that 17 actually gains, I think, 5 extra power at the end, so it's 22, and she's not even up tie 3 yet. Trigger a tremor burst, then reduce target's tremor count by 1. Deal extra damage per tremor count consumed. Borrowed time, trigger tremor burst. If this unit has borrowed time, inflict 2 time Moratorium. Triggers Tremor Burst after dealing 100 plus stack times 15% of stored damage. Gain 1 stack, lose 1 count. The time moratorium will immediately expire after triggering the Tremor Burst and sloth damage if someone else sticks down the effect. So that's important to know. Alright, so her skill 3 is now going from an 8 to a 9. And her skill 2 is now going to 18, which is kind of ridiculous. Actually, wait. I think they knew that they had to match up against Mola Utis, which is why it's rolling suspiciously high for a skill 2. No extra effects there. Support passive. One ally with a faster speed deals extra damage when attacking staggered targets.
내가 모자를 놓치게 하다니 칭찬해주지. T3형 징수기.
Perhaps it was a mistake to have reflexively volunteered the moment he heard a superior officer was looking for someone to drive her car. The Class 1 collection staff employee, who was fresh in the field, greeted his boss with the rigidity of stone, his expression frozen with anxiety. Such panic was understandable, given that the first thing he heard the moment he opened the door was, "Commence mission briefing. You have 30 seconds. Keep it concise." 30. If you don't have the competency for it, now's your time to fess up. Don't have the time to listen to your stutter through a half-baked briefing. It was something of incredibly high difficulty, something he never knew to be part of his job description. The employee was anxious before the child, but perhaps anxiety helped? Not a single social nicety to dress up the briefing came to mind. Instead, his mind instantly wandered to the mission brief he had read over and over again today. His mouth was on autopilot from that moment onward. 3 days ago, there was a break-in by a backstreet syndicate at a warehouse with a time vault, the ownership of which belongs to an individual by the surname Charlie, a high-ranking clerical staff member at the timepiece factory. With his 34-hour days, Mr. Charlie... He wasn't entirely familiar with the words coming out of his mouth, but it seemed the briefing's succinctness and clarity were up to the child's standards. Any chance they managed to flee the scene after extracting the time vault from the warehouse? Unlike UCOR's stasis preservation packaging, which advertises primarily based on completely static transportation, T-Core's time vaults boast their stationary preservative and management qualities based on internal timescale adjustments. Given that the perpetrators are defaulters who are unable to make even their time tax payments, it can be assumed they are still at the scene, having failed to procure a getaway method. That is all. How long do you think I've had this car for? As the child was internally sighing with relief at completing that sudden extra assignment, the child surprises him with an odd question. The employee stares silently, not knowing what to say. The child continues with a slight smile. He was mentally preparing himself for the scolding of a lifetime for failing to answer such a simple question, but... I purchased it when I joined the ranks of the Class 2 collection staff. The first automotive vehicle I ever purchased here at T-Core. I had a feeling that as I continued to put in serious, honest work here, one day I would no longer be able to ride in a car with a roof. The child has misunderstood the employee's nervous silence as nothing more than a show of deference and readiness to listen to the words of her senior officer. Do you understand what I am saying? It's hard to get into a car with a tall top hat, and I should think of my future. I'll give you 85 out of 100 for that answer. What I'm saying is that if you intend to use your time, you must have a clear sight of your purpose. For someone born in T-Core, you have a halfway decent sense of colour fashion. That pink necktie, not a bad choice. Ma'am, this is, but it doesn't mesh very well with your shirt, which is sepia and derived of colour. The employee must have wanted to tell her that the necktie was a gift from his mother, who purchased this colour necktie to celebrate his employment at T-Core. But the moment to correct the child had already passed. The rookie had no choice but to maintain his silence now. Of course, ma'am. Giving a colour to nothing else but your necktie, it only gives the impression that you're a half-measure kind of employee. May have helped if you had coloured your shirt as well. In other words, you are dressed like a common nouveau riche, a time waster. I see, ma'am. I never knew my outfit could imply such a thing. Next time, just don't wear any colour. If you're heading to a function where being tidily dressed is important, be sure to colour in your shirt as well. I will keep that in mind, ma'am. Don't waste my time on worthless fools. So I trust you will make the time I just spent on you worthwhile. And like she said, she never wastes time in pursuit of her goal. While the child has already accumulated a fair bit of time in her watch, she's always being chased by time. Pursued by the idea that her time is always approaching. Yes, ma'am. Oh, and she's gone. She steps one foot into the warehouse and announces toward the hostiles before they have the time to react with a full sentence. That unnecessary chat with the employee, in whom she saw a smidgen of potential, was an investment, but to engage in an extended parley with these syndicate henchmen was an unwise use of her time. You! 31 T-Core Central Clock Tower seconds. That is how much time you have to present your defense. Let's get right to the point and avoid beating around the bush. It seemed she managed to communicate her firm stance on the matter. The henchmen began to discuss their next course of action. We should run. Let's surrender. A multitude of opinions were offered, but this was a foregone conclusion. Don't forget the kind of shite we had to do to get this much time. Yeah, I ain't going back to the kind of life where I lose 2 bloody days of sleep. 5 seconds have passed. You're wasting precious time. What you lot doing? Get her before she gets reinforcements. The child could not help but grin at this rather predictable outcome. This foolish choice wasn't exactly what she hoped they'd go for. But at least they were quick to act, which she did appreciate. The quickest and wisest solution to the present predicament would have been to surrender. But don't you fret for missing the best option. Your preemptive attack is certainly a wonderful, if second best, option. Refusal to comply with collections logged. From this moment forth... What she just... Prismatic aura exudes from her briefly before fading away. She just stepped into a different time. In the blink of an eye, before they could even flinch a finger, 5 of the syndicate henchmen almost simultaneously hit the ground. One of them hit himself with his own weapon, while some fell and hurt their heads. And one of them was hanging from the ceiling, and no one but the child knew how he got up there. The child was trying to use fear as her weapon to compel them to surrender and end this battle early. Wait, let's talk. We can talk this out, can't we? Listen, I know that, by the way you're moving, you're spending too much time. Even for you. Oh, is this what you think? But this is the company's for and me. Is that what you think? Yet this is but the evidence of the company's faith in me. I noticed you from earlier look around like an idiot. One of them tried talking to her, watching his comrades fall like blades of grass to a scythe, but the child already saw through his shallow trick. When she decelerated, there was something in her hand. Don't concern yourselves with buying time. Your contraband's right here. She shakes the small vault in her hands as if to flaunt, and as if on cue, bodies of the syndicate henchmen were searching the empty box suddenly contort in all the wrong ways. They continue falling for what seems like seconds, their bodies twisting left and right, up and down. Once the timing moratorium rushed all back at once, there was only a handful of them left standing. We'll all be arrested at this rate. She takes the rest of our time. We won't even get a chance to try anything like this again. Remember the watches I handed out. Now's the time to activate them. I'm pretty sure she's already confiscated them. They're not standard issue watches for collectors. But that's... And it looks too thrown together to properly latch onto T-Core's time stream. Damn it! Activate them anyway! The child activated the watch on her waist without finishing her thought. Seeing that, the syndicate henchmen hardly fumbled with their watches, doing the same. And once they perceived the hat falling from her head, They realized that, at this very moment at least, they were living in the same time as the child's. It works! It works! With this we can take on a collector, lads! I dropped my hat. The henchman excitedly rushed at the child, but... Very good, if we're dealing with defaulters who can keep up with this much time. This should register positively on my performance review. Exoskeleton? Where'd she... A piece of exoskeleton armor appeared in a blink and clicked onto her upper arm. And with that, the staff she held began to separate and expand with a violent mechanical noise. Illegal inventions from unqualified individuals unregistered with the T-Core Patents Agency, I assume. The acceleration was indeed impressive, but... Your watches are defective. They've got no safeguards against time collection at all. The child's weapons siphoned the invisible time from their watches. The henchman, who had just had a large sum of time siphoned by the child, grew furious. Very, very slowly. The child took this chance to transform her staff once again. No, you can't do. There are many unforgivable crimes here at T-Core, but the most heinous of them all is time trafficking. Organized time trafficking, smuggling rackets. And that's why a violent defaulter collections unit staff member such as myself handles these cases. Acceleration ratio adjusted. Max activate collection mace. But they never got the chance to witness the final form of her weapon. Only a brief glimpse of the transforming weapon etched itself in their brains like a severed piece of film. Those struck by the child's mace can no longer move. Assigned task completed. The child crosses off an entry in her notepad and then... Oh, she's gone. What remains in the child's wake is the impending doom slowly approaching from the delayed time. And there lies the hopeless future, or lack thereof, of the criminal syndicate. And should we feel like uptying her again? Gain 3 tremor count. Her skill 1 now rolls an 11. Gain 4 tremor count. If target is either amplitude conversion or amplitude entanglement, deal bonus damage. If not, turn it into tremor chain. If target has 3 plus tremor count, trigger the tremor burst once, reduce tremor count by 1. If target is in either, deal extra damage. If target has time moratorium, deal extra damage. So she does actually get a bonus for being packed up with other T-Core collector IDs. Coin power +1 for every tremor on the target to a maximum of 2. Okay, so +6, 18, 23. For every 4 tremor count consumed, instead of every 5, I believe. So let's have a look at that final coin again. 5 plus 6, so that's 18, 23. There are another 5, it becomes 28. That's cool. They really want her to. They really want to beat Mola Utus. The problem is that Mola Utus is just too good all around. Really. Okay, borrowed time gains sloth type. 3 plus 10. If unit is not in borrowed time, gain borrowed time. Apply tremor count. Yeah. You know what? This way we can go in and do this one again. Give him a good clocking.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠.
최대전 집행한다.
Oh, she has violent collections now because she used the skill 3. Okay, I guess that's good to know.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리
완전히 멈춰.
거스라기. 시간은 되었어.
전부 징수했으니 상관없지. 가족 중에는 이야기해봐야 잘 들리지 않는다.
I think Ishmael's gonna get stabbed twice though. Well, actually no, it's not a stab attack, so she's fine.
정당한 공무 집행이다. 벌써 버벅이나? 완전히 멈췄네.
Now, the question is, does this retreat do anything special? No, it doesn't even give Utis her skill coin. Darn it.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
무상한 목숨.
So yeah, entertaining enough. Fancy new ID, but it wouldn't be worth spending lunacy on because we have, well, Purgisnat and the crossover to consider instead.
정당한 공무 집행이다. 완전히 멈췄나. 체납한 시간은 전부 징수했으니.
And now they're level 4 each. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to have to...
이렇게 쉽게
Achievements. What did I get in achievements? So, clear at floor 5 with 10 or more ego gifts. Clear at floor 5 or higher with 20 or more ego gifts. Clear at floor 5 or higher with 25 ego gifts, with 30 ego gifts. At Mirror Dungeon 4 or 5 or higher with 5 or more tier 4 ego gifts. 10 or more tier 4 ego gifts. Clear with 2+ fusion recipe only tier 4 ego gifts. Clear Mirror Dungeon at floor 5 with 1 or more tier 5 or X ego gifts. What are they gonna do that's higher than Lunar Memory though? Unlock 40 or more normal. Unlock 70 or more hard. Unlock 20 burn, unlock 20 bleed, unlock 20 rupture, 20 tremor, sinking, poise, charge. 300 ego gifts. Now to get more of these, I'd need to run their respective teams. Burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, sinking, poise. Because I did fusions, I don't get the charge gift one, darn it. Although I guess it's also, I should have gone and done the Murder on Warp Express for those extra charge gifts. Or the Purgisnat, Hatred and Despair, that also has charge gifts. Well. With 10+ slash gifts. 10+ pierce gifts. 10+ blunt gifts. 20+ tier 4 or higher, so we actually do have to buy quite a lot here. And 10 fusion recipe only and 8 theme pack exclusives. Good to know. Clear Mirror Dungeon at floor 5 or higher. Clear up to a floor 1 once, clear up to 2 once, clear up to 3 once, clear up to 4 once, clear up to 5 once, clear up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we have to do it many times over. Oh, I didn't get enough story theme packs? Really? That's disappointing. Maybe I have to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I stopped wanting to. I did several of Canto 7, and I couldn't find one for Canto 3. That might be what the problem was. Oh well. And for these rewards, we get thread spinning shards, an extraction ticket, 14 training tickets, 60 thread. Okay. Yeah, until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.
점심 식사는 즐기지 않소.
죽은 게 감히 충고하건대. 어이, 내가 말한 시간 적금은 제대로 들.